Hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining us again. I hope this time I can hear me clearly. It's yet another Tuesday. For the next 1 hour, we are going to interact. Yes, as we learn more about our mental health. So, thank you so much for joining us. I usually start this live, I think a minute before time. To allow people to join. I can see someone has already joined in. Thank you so much, Evelyn Koroy. I can see you. My name is Grace Kasiva. Once again, I am happy to be doing these live videos, chat sessions with you guys as we interact. I can also see Abby there. Thank you so much, Evelyn and Abby, for your consistent support and participation in our Facebook live chats. Kindly, if you don't mind, you can share the link of the video to other people to join. So last week tulikuwa tunaongea kuhusu boundaries, personal boundaries, and yes, I don't know if during the week you've been able to create boundaries, to check where your boundaries zilikuwa a bit shaky and to reinforce them, adjust them. I don't know if you've been able to do that. Myself, I know I have. So this week, as Nzumari Africa, we will be talking about anger and mental health, hasira. And maybe as we start off, what is anger? For those who are joining us, for those who have joined us, you can answer the question, what is anger? Hasira ni nini? According to you, what is anger? Before tujibu swali, maybe I can begin with a brief introduction of what anger is according to what I know. So anger is it is a universal feeling. Number one, we have 6 universal emotions or feelings. There is happiness, there is sadness, there is disgust, there is fear, there is surprise, and the last one is anger. So anger is a feeling or an emotion that is experienced all over, universally, not just in our own country or with us. So everybody has the capacity to experience anger. Everyone. I just think maybe kuna wale they don't really express it as often, ama kuna wale they do it excessively. So we will get to know mahali uko. So what is anger according to you? For those who have joined us, for those who are watching, feel free to comment. I have enabled the comment section for you to type in the comments. So feel free to comment and let me know what anger is. And as we continue, maybe I can, as I describe mwenyewe, anger is it is a negative feeling. Yes, it's a feeling that is negative, that is towards someone or something, and you feel like this person has deliberately done wrong to you. So ni feeling negative yenye iko directed towards something ama someone, na una feel this person or this thing has deliberately done something wrong to you. So that is what anger is. That is how I can explain it. So it is a natural and most automatic response to pain. Most of the time, tukisikia uchungu, when someone or something has hurt us, tunasikia angry. So it is very natural, and that is why we talk about it being a universal feeling. because it is very, very natural. And so yes, it is natural, a response to pain, a natural response to pain, almost automatic. I can see Abi amesema anger is a feeling of dissatisfaction. Yes, it is also a feeling of dissatisfaction. Thank you Abi for that. Negative feeling, maybe kuna kitu mtu amefanya haijakufurahisha ama haikutosheleza, and so you feel a bit dissatisfied. So you see when we feel pain, when we are having some pain, something has caused us pain, or someone has caused us pain. It is not in that pain, it's not the type of pain that matters. What matters is that it was unpleasant. Whether the pain, this is what I mean, whether the pain was too much or too little, that does not really matter. What matters is that it was unpleasant. Kenye ulifanyiwa ama kenye mtu amekufanyia ama kenye kitu imekufanyia haikuja kufurahisha, it has not satisfied you. So yes, those are some of the things that we would like to know about anger today. And as we've said, it's a universal feeling. Number two, we've said that it's a natural response. Number three, tumesema the pain does not matter. What matters is that the pain was unpleasant. It was unpleasant. Whether the pain was too much, too little, depending on where you come from or what people believe, the pain does not matter. What matters is that it is unpleasant. So I can see there are so many people who have joined us. Thank you so much for joining. As you begin to learn about us, we are Nzumari Africa. We are a youth-based organization, and we delight in serving the youth and the society at large. Yes, and today we are having a session on anger, and we've asked the question, what is anger? Oh yes, and my name is Grace Kasiva. I'm the current psychologist of Nzumari Africa. I can see Colin Samokoa has joined. I can see Abi has joined, Evelyn has joined, and someone else has also joined. So feel free to participate and answer the question according to what you believe anger is. We'll be having more and more questions to answer as the chat and the live continues. So I can maybe bring up another point that I think was really important when I was doing this research on anger. So ukishapata your pain, not just sometimes we experience pain, and it doesn't have to be the response si lazima ikuwe an angry like kind of response or how we take out the pain. Sometimes it's not out of anger, and I hope by there I'm clear. I hope this time round I'm clear. Nimeweka speaker karibu ya earphones. So anger actually comes when we are feeling the pain, alafu a thought comes, a thought ya kutrigger that anger comes. That is when the anger comes. Maybe I can type in that equation. So pain, allow me to type in the equation plus anger triggering thought is equals to anger. There is an equation that I have typed in. I know you can see it in the comment section. So maybe you can tell me if you agree with that or not. Kama unakubaliana na hiyo equation or not. That pain plus anger triggering thought of the pain that you've experienced is equals to anger. Because sometimes you can go through something that will cause you some pain, and utajipata you're not angry, you're just hurt or sad, yeah, or in fear, but the response will not be anger. So my question is, do you agree with the equation that I have posted, that pain plus anger triggering thought is equals to now the emotion anger? So as we continue, something else we should know about anger, that sometimes we use anger as human beings as a substitute emotion for what we really are feeling. Sijui kama if you as a person you've experienced this. Thank you so much for those who are joining. Naona leo kuna watu wengi sana. Collins Amukoa, I just want to shout out again. There's someone I'm not really knowing who the person is, but kindly I ask that you type in your comments and you type in your, so I can know who is watching, who is participating. That will be very good. And as we do that, by the way, allow me to to post the pre-survey form. If you are online and you're watching us, there is a form that we always post, that I always post as we continue with the live session, so that we can be able to get feedback from you. And so kindly you can you can check in the form, fill it in for us, so that we can get more feedback from you. So as I was saying, sometimes as human beings we can use anger as a substitute emotion for something we really feel. Sijui kama umeifika mahali and mtu amekukosea ama something has happened to you, and maybe as a child, you know, your parent has done something to you, and instead of now getting angry, yeah, you want to get angry, but no, instead of, you know, feeling sad or hurt or crying or whatever other emotion, we can sometimes run to feeling angry. It acts as a substitute emotion for a different kind of feeling that we have. And it's important for us to be aware of when something negative happens to us. How are we feeling about it? Tunasikiaje about it? So that we can be able to actually, if it's angry, we are getting angry genuinely for the right, yani it's genuine anger. It's just not a way of running away from what we are really feeling. And so as we continue, I can say there's this quote that I want us to reflect on. It is by Lawrence J. Peter, and it says that speak when you're angry, and you will make the best speech you'll ever regret. Speak when you're angry, and you will make the best speech you'll ever regret. I think I can post that quote here as we continue to reflect about it. Speak when you're angry. Speak when you are angry, and you will make the best speech you'll ever regret. I want us to reflect on that quote. Speak when you're angry, and you will regret, and you will make the best speech you'll ever regret. Sijui, I don't know if there's someone in the audience who has ever made a speech when they're angry. Umekasirishwa na kitu hapo hapo. Maybe you are at work, maybe you're at home with your kids, maybe you're with your spouse, maybe you're with your friends, maybe you're in a public place, maybe even in church or in the mosque, wherever, anywhere you go as a person, and kuna watu hata kama ni family gathering, and you are angry, and instead of maybe just kusonga kando kidogo and letting time pass, you speak. I don't know if you have ever experienced that, and I don't know if you regretted. So this quote, I just thought to post it so that we can begin to reflect on ourselves and how we feel angry and whether we regret. So if you're there and you're free to type in your experience on where maybe you've ever made a speech when you were angry, and if you ever regretted it. And so now it brings me back now to our conversation of today of anger and mental health, and why anger can be a problem. Why anger can be a problem. Why it can be a problem. However, it's not a problem to get angry. It is not a problem to get angry. The problem with anger is not that we express it. It's not that it exists. Sorry. The problem with anger is not that it exists. It's that it's how we handle it. The problem of anger is how we handle it. It's not that it exists. So in short, kama unasikia umekasirika, that is not a problem. The problem is how do you handle that? So we are answering the question, anger, mental health, and why it can be a problem. So why do you think anger can be a problem? We can begin to reflect on that. Why can anger be a problem? For those who are with us, feel free to answer that question. Why can anger be a problem? What can make anger a problem? I would like us to answer that question. Give us what your feedback, give us what you think. Why can anger be a problem? Or how we express it. How can anger be a problem? Why can it be a problem? And as I've said, the problem with anger is not that it exists. It's that how we handle it. Venye tuna handle hasira yetu, that is the problem. So why can that be a problem? Why can that be a problem? Feel free to answer that question in the comment section. I will be reading out the comments as they come in, and I'll be happy to engage with you more, guys. So growing up, sijui kama while you were growing up kuna vitu ulikuwa unasikia kuhusu hasira. You will hear perhaps someone say, usikasirike sana, utapata heart attack. Utapata heart attack. Usikasirike sana, utapata heart attack. Ama utasikia mtu mwingine anakwambia, hapana, usiweke hasira ndani sana, usihold in sana, itoe. So kuna mule anakwambia usikasirike sana, utapata heart attack. Kuna mwenye anakwambia usiiweke ndani, itoe, express it, itoe, usonga uende. You know, for those who are Christians, maybe the Bible says, don't let the sun go down when you're angry, you know. So there are these things to grow up to kisikia. And also, as a child, I want to bring this conversation now. As a child, I don't know if wewe mwenyewe as a child may experience this, but you will find children are more often than not allowed to express their anger, and yet parents on this other side express it, you know, often. Yani mtoto akikasirisha mzazi, umekasirika, kuja hapa nikuchape. But the same parent might get angry and express their anger, but not allow their child to experience that. And I don't know if it's something that you've experienced as a child growing up. We can answer that question, and I want us to also answer this question. What are the myths on anger? What is it that you've heard about anger growing up? Ni nini ukiraisiwa as a child about anger that you made you believe about it, and maybe now that you are grown, it's not true? Ni nini believe about anger that ama uliraisiwa ukibelieve about anger, that now that you're a child you find it's not true. Sijui kama kuna anything that you know about. Kuna moja that happily married couples never get angry. Maybe there are those walilelewa wakijua hivyo, people who are always happy, or happy couples, couple goals, relationship goals. Those people are never angry. I don't know if umesikia kitu kama hiyo ama umeona we mwenyewe. So ni myths gani unajua about anger, ama ni nini ulilelewa ukijua about anger? For those who are online, kindly I request for you to type in your comments. Yes, your comments, so that I can be able to engage with you more and get to know your thoughts on this topic. It's a really interesting topic, hasira, because yes, ni kitu maybe hatujajua kuexpress vizuri, ama tumejua kuexpress but maybe not often enough, ama tume lock in ama hatuja lock in, etc. So what are the myths about anger? Ni nini about anger that you believe, that you've been raised to believe? Number one, that anger is anger a weakness? Maybe I can type that question. Is anger a weakness? For those who are online, do you think anger is a weakness? When I express my anger, is it a weakness? Is it a strength? What do you think? Is anger a weakness? Umelelewa ukijua aje concerning anger? What have you been raised to know about anger? Do you think anger is a weakness? Hasira ni udhaifu? In short, that is the question we are asking in Kiswahili. Hasira ni udhaifu ama ni nguvu? Ukikasirika inakuonyesha nini? Inakuambia nini? Feel free to answer that question. Also, another myth that maybe most of us tumekuwa raised tukijua is that the only way to express anger is shouting, violence, and getting angry and yelling. Yeah, maybe because that is how tumeona tukireiziwa. Yelling, shouting, violence, kutupa vitu, tantrums. Some of us have actually been raised knowing that, because maybe that is what uli observe from your caregivers, or even in school, wherever you were mostly raised. Na ukajua anger is, if I get angry, I either shout, I either do this, I either do this and do this. So what are the myths? Ni nini ingine umelelewa ukijua kuhusu hasira? For some of us, maybe those who are Christians, anger, it might be a sin. For some of us who are Christians or believers, or depending on our religion, anger could be a sin. Like getting angry could be a sin. I don't know if you believe that as a person. I don't know. So, and there's also this thing that people, some people are raised to believe, that if you love someone, or if someone loves you, they should not get angry at you. So kama kuna mapenzi, upendo, it means that this person hafai kukukasirikia, ama hufai kumkasirikia kwa sababu anakupenda. Kuna also that hizo belief, ikibelieve kama hiyo inakuja when you're talking about anger. Ingine ni you find someone saying that a good parent never gets angry at their child. So ule mzazi mzuri ni mwenye the child does anything and they'll never get angry at their child. I don't know if that is also something that you believe as a person. Feel free to post it online, so that we can hear, we can know what you think about this. So Some of us also believe that we have no right to become angry at other people, that you have no right to become angry at others, just maybe because you are raised to believe you're a good person, you're a kind heart, so you have no right to become angry at others. So I don't know if that is true or false. Maybe you can let me know. So one thing that we should know about anger is that hasira haifai kuwa kitu unatumia kucontrol watu. I'm talking about perhaps people who are in positions of authority, watu wenye wako juu ya watu wengine. Maybe these are employees, employers, bosses, parents, teachers, firstborns, whoever, ama tu mtu tu yoyote mwingine pia. Sometimes we can use anger to control other people. Sijui kama you experienced this in high school. Maybe there was this particular teacher who could really get angry so much, maybe even in primary. Angekasirika maybe hujamaliza homework ama umekuja late, vitu kama hizo. Maybe you had a genuine reason, but now that they know that hasira yao ni kitu mnaogopa, they might use it to control you. And so just because unaogopa hasira yake and whatever comes with that hasira, they use that power, your influence they have on you kukucontrol. Sijui kama kuna mtu experience such a thing. You can feel free to answer that. So anger should not be a way of controlling people. It should not be a way. Actually, as a matter of fact, if anger is used well, it can clear the air and bring people together. The moment we know how to really express our anger, it can be used to clear the air and to bring people together, and actually to create healthy boundaries, the ones that we talked about last week. Personal boundaries, work boundaries, time boundaries, family boundaries, sexual boundaries, physical boundaries, emotional boundaries. If you get angry at someone and you learn to express it verbally, number one, it's verbally and family, assertively, bila kuyumba ama kuogopa. This and this, I feel hurt, I feel angered by this, I was not happy that you did this. Expressing it, I believe next time we can be able to do this and this. Kama ni mtu labda haja keep time and you're really angry, and akikuja, maybe there's the silent treatment, etc, instead of just verbalizing it. But these things are usually, it's a process to learn these things, and no pressure. If you know you have a problem with anger and you're not able to express it verbally, you can go to a mental health professional, someone who can help you manage your anger well, someone who can help you express it well in healthy ways, for you to be able to ensure that your relationships don't get damaged. So I want us to reflect on something else, that just because two people argue, it does not mean they love each other. And just because they don't argue, it does not mean they don't love each other. If we are arguing, haimaanishi ati hatupendani, na kama hatujawahi argue haimaanishi tunapendana. So these are just some of the myths that if we can begin to unlearn as early as now, tunaweza anza ku unlearn as early as now, and get to know what we really think, what we really feel about them, we can be able to now begin the journey of managing anger well. We can begin the journey of expressing it in a healthy way, in a manner to ensure that our relationships stay intact and our relationships are healthy, and us ourselves are doing okay. So the reason as to why anger can be a problem is that your time hiyo time tunatumia, if let's say someone now makes you angry, that time that we use not talking to them, the silent treatment, we are wasting it. Because if you're angry and you prolong expressing the anger in a healthy way, that silent treatment will open doors for negative assumptions of this other person. Unaanza maybe kuassume vitu haziko, kuweka vitu haziko, and then that if you're not able to express the anger, of course you'll find there's a time now itakuja ijae, and then the moment ifike mwisho you explode, the damage is bigger than how it was before. So the reason as to why anger can be a problem sometimes is in the expressing part. If we delay expression, tukidelay to express the anger, and then you come to express it later on, it becomes problematic. Because now kama imejaa your pressure, so now it gets to a point now you can no longer take it anymore, and then something triggers you, that thought. Remember, there is an equation that nilieka hapo ikasema pain plus an anger threatened in thought is equals to now the emotion anger. So the time wasted with the silent treatment, not being able to express your anger in a healthy way, will create room for negative assumptions that may damage the relationship between that person even the more. Another reason why anger can be a problem, especially if you don't express it well, sometimes we can get angry and tunatupa threat, vitisho. You do not know what I am capable of, statement kama hiyo. Wewe kitu naweza kufanyia wewe, tunasikianga statements kama hizo, and that is a threat, and it causes fear. It can cause a lot of fear in that person, and so you find there's that emotional injury. Huyo mtu umemwekea scar mahali, ataanza kuogopa vitu, kukuogopa wewe, na they're not able to be themselves again with you. So that is one way that anger can be a problem. Another way is when we're talking about anger and the injuries now, kama hatuwezi to express in a healthy way and we resort to violence or throwing things, kumoja utatupa kitu iumize mtu na inaweza muumiza vibaya sana. So sometimes, yes, we are expressing the anger, but it may come to a point where we injure somebody without us knowing, without our knowledge. And so it's important for us to know how to express it in a good way. And then another reason as to why anger can be a problem is push down can lead to depression. Pushing it down can lead to depression. When you become angry and you push it down, you're not utaki kuexpress, umekasirisha utaki kuexpress, it can really lead to points of hopelessness, helplessness. You are depressed kwa sababu you began having a fear that you don't want, utaki kukosea mtu, utaki kumkosea, utaki kumkasirisha, and yet wewe mwenyewe anaendelea kukukosea tu. Ye hajui anakukosea, hajui anakufanyia hivi kwa sababu hujamwambia. Alikukosea siku ya kwanza, you're not able to express it, so ataendelea tena na tena na tena. Now until you learn to actually just sit this person down and express and say, by the way, what you do does not make me happy, so how can we make things better? How can we ensure that our relationship is not damaged by the things that you do that make me angry? If we can begin to ask ourselves that question with the people that are around us, we will realize that chances ya kuenda into depression zina minimize. Nataka tuanze kureflect on anger and suicide and how they relate. And September has been Suicide Prevention Awareness Month, and there has been a really huge campaign about preventing suicide and being able to ensure that people are finding avenues to express themselves, avenues to, save a life, or for those who are hopeless and helpless with their situation. But I want us to relate anger with suicide. And maybe you are a child at home and something happens to you. Maybe your parents wanakukosea so many times, and you're not able to express yourself well. And maybe even at home you're not in a good position economically, yani you're struggling with finances. So kuna hiyo struggle ya finances, kuna abuse, kuna maybe emotional abuse, kuna physical abuse, for some hata pia sexual abuse, and then there is that economic strain in the family. Huyu mtoto mwenye hayuko able to express their anger maybe towards their parents, and they don't know how or where to take it. And then now kuna hii stress ingine ya nini sasa ya chakula, ya shule, na school fees, etc. You find it becomes very easy, very very easy, or it becomes very easy for this child to start thinking of ways to take away their lives. Yes, they may resort to drug abuse, and that is expected. However, sometimes maybe even with the drug abuse it comes in, and then now they get to a point where they are really hopeless and helpless, and then now they resort to I no longer feel the need to be in this world, I can just take my life away. Another way we can relate anger to suicide is maybe you are not able to be taught how to express your anger before, or when you are growing up as a child, and so something happens and you experience a loss, and it may be a loss of a job or etc. And then now that you've lost this job and things are not going well for you, and remember you are not able to really express your anger before, so hata mtu akiweza kukukosea inafika mahali and hauko hata haujui hizi feelings zote utazitoa aje, and so inafika mahali unafika mwisho wa kamba, you are holding on to the rope for too long, and then finally you just say I don't see the need to live again, so let me just take away my life. And so if we are not able to deal with our anger really well, it can take us to points where we don't even feel the need to live, kwa sababu ya umekasirika, and then how we handle the emotion, tunaenda tuna hurt others the more with our words, we come back and regret it, etc. So I don't know if you are there, you're watching, maybe you can answer the questions that I have posted before. I have also posted the pre-survey form for us to sign in and to get to know you better, to get feedback from you. So we can begin to reflect on the 3 reasons why anger can be a problem. Number 1, I said your time umespend na silent treatment, it can bring up a lot of negative things like assumptions that are not even there, and you prolong the anger na kuna hiyo pressure inakubuild, ndio ile time inafika sasa mwisho and you explode and the damages are real. Another reason why it can be a problem is the injuries, emotional injuries that can be caused, or even physical injuries. Another one is it can lead to other mental health illnesses, illnesses like depression, because now if you push it down and you're feeling hopeless, you're not able to express it, to talk about it, inafika mahali now you're feeling sad, you're lacking the motivation to go on. Watu wanaendelea kukukosea na hautaki na hawajui, so na hujawaambia, so that cycle continues and it becomes a bit negative. So how can we express our anger? What are the ways ama the steps to expressing our anger? How can we express our anger in a healthy way? Maybe we can answer the question that I have posted. If you're online, I invite you to answer the question that is asking, how can we express our anger in a healthy way? How can we express our anger in a healthy way? Where do we begin? Tunaanzia wapi? Na umekasirika ya ukweli kabisa 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 kabisa, ile completely. So how can you express our anger in a healthy way? I would really love to hear your thoughts on this. Maybe I can give us some time to answer the question. Yeah, I can give us a bit of a minute or 30 seconds to 1 minute to those who are watching right now, so that we can engage in this chat. How can we express our anger in a healthy way? Anyone who is online, I invite you to type in the comments, your comment, your opinion. There is no right or wrong answer. I invite you to type in the comments the answer to that question as we continue. I can give you some time to do that. Yeah. How can we express our anger in a healthy way? How can we express our anger in a healthy way? As we type in our comment and our feedback, maybe I can give us some guidelines on how to express our anger in a healthy way. So the first thing we can ask ourselves is it important to express this anger that I'm feeling? Sometimes unaweza kasirishwa and iwe si ile hasira ya juu sana, and sometimes unaweza kasirishwa na kitu ama mtu, maybe ni kwa matatu, and makanga kukasirisha tu, and maybe it's something just minor. So it's good to ask yourself, is it important for me to express this anger? Unajiuliza, ni kitu ya maana ku express this anger? Is it a minor thing? Can I just feel the anger and just let it go? That is one of the guidelines to use when we are thinking about expressing our anger in a healthy way. Another thing to ask ourselves is, so if I express this anger, how will this other person respond to it? Yes, I have expressed. If kama umesha asked that question, is it important to express this anger? So now you ask yourself, if now I express this anger, how will this person respond? You can begin to reflect hapo as to how this person is going to respond. Maybe it's your family member, maybe it is your boss, maybe it is hapa tu nje mtu amekukasirisha, so huyo mtu ukimwambia umekasirika atarespond aje? The reason as to why you're asking that question is to ask also yourself whether it can damage the relationship if you express the emotion. So we just want to know if it can damage, or if there's a chance of the relationship being damaged. This does not mean at sasa if you have fear of damaging the relationship, you don't want to express the anger. No. In instances where unaona maybe there's a fear of damaging the relationship, you can look for a third party who can act as a neutral person for you to express your anger or your concern about what this person has done that is making you having an unpleasant feeling, a feeling of dissatisfaction. Like Abi alikuwa ametuambia before that for him he knows that anger is a feeling of dissatisfaction. So it can be good for you to know that and to get to realize that yes, you're going to ask huyu mtu atarespond aje, but also if I express this, will it damage the emotion, the relationship? And so from there, now you ask yourself, how can I express this anger? What's the best way to express it? There are those who walk away. They walk away from the situation. Hapo na hapo something has happened, imekukasirisha, so instead of first responding immediately, you walk away and you say, let me just take a breather and take a walk, and then come back, and then I'll be able to express it. Another way to express it is some people journal. Watu anza kuandika chini, I feel so angry with this person, and because of this and this, I feel angry with this situation because of this and this. And then there's a way of expressing it now verbally. As I said before, it's verbally is the most healthier way to express it. And of course, if it's verbally, it's without insults. We are expressing it verbally without insulting this person. And it takes me to and it's firm, and it's verbal, it's firm, it's assertive. How if this has wronged you, not in a way to just make excuses for this person, but just to express in a way to also respect yourself, and you also ask yourself, as you are expressing this your anger or the feelings that you have, am I respecting the other person's boundary? Yes. So always ensure that even as you're expressing your anger, you are expressing it in a way that una respect boundary ya huyo mtu mwingine, respecting their boundaries, their personal boundaries, na pia zako you are respecting boundaries zako na za huyo mwingine. Yes, just make sure that pia una respect huyo mtu even as you are, because remember, yes, we are feeling angry, but we don't want to go on burning bridges. We don't want to burn bridges. We hatutaki ku burn bridges, and damage relationships. We need each other as human beings. We are social beings. We cannot live alone. It's not healthy to live alone. We need to be with each other. And so, and remember, as I said, anger is a universal feeling, so lazima tutakasirika at one point or another. There's no saying that I cannot get angry. You can get angry. It is okay to be angry. The problem with anger is just how we express it. The problem with anger is how we express it. And so those are the guidelines we can begin to reflect on. Number one, asking ourselves, is it important to express this anger? Yes, ni kitu kidogo kime happen, and I have the capacity, or I have gained skills enough to let go, to deal with such issues and being able to let go of them without them affecting me so much. There is that part. And then now, If it is important for you to express it, if you know you cannot let it go, you now ask yourself, now, if I express this anger, how will this person respond? And then from there, will it damage our relationship? And then from there, what is now the best way to express it? Should I wait kidogo, nitoke nje, nirudi, anga ya hewa itulie, and then now come back? Or should I just sit them down, take them to a neutral place? Should I involve a third party, someone who can be able to be objective, akuwe asiati take sides, awasikize tu, mtu ako neutral. Yeah, neutral is the word. Mtu ako neutral na pia objective, asione tu what they believe, asikie huyo mtu. Yeah. And also, as you're expressing the anger, you're expressing it in a way to make sure that hata mtu akisema anataka kukwambia vile umemkasirisha, you listen without interrupting them. Unawasikia bila kuinterrupt. Kama una express anga yako, kama mtu amekuja kusema umemkasirisha, akikuanza kukuelezea, usimuinterrupt tafadhali. Acha kwanza amalize, wewe sikiza actively, because most of the time you'll find even during fights in a relationship, someone will we might sometimes forget to listen to this person fully and actively and begin to interrupt them as they speak. And then there comes the yelling and the shouting and the screaming and the throwing of things and the tantrums. So it is healthy to actually just kama zimekupanda na zimekushika, you can breathe in and breathe out, and then just listen, and then make it intentional to listen to this person mpaka amalize kuongea, and then you can now talk. And don't listen to give a feedback, just listen to listen. Listen first, sikiza kabisa, msikize kabisa kwanza. Hata kama hautakuwa na feedback, let them feel that they've been heard. Wamesikizwa. Yes, wamesikizwa. So yes, and then the last thing to remember is respect the boundaries of people. Respect people's boundaries and respect yours too. Usivuke mpaka zako pia. Usivuke mipaka yao pia. So I think nimemalizia chat ya leo about anger and mental health. I've briefly talked about how anger and suicide relate. For those who did not get to hear that point, you can hear about it later on. And so I don't know if there's a question or a comment that either of us have. If you're there, you have a question or a comment, kindly feel free to answer it. If you have a question or a comment,